Pedro, it's kind of like what you said the other day. You can look at the strikeouts as long as the payoff comes, and that was, he showed what he could do there.
Well, I just like the fact that he stayed in there on it. You know, the day didn't start out right for him. The third at bat, he's a quick, quick 2 strikes. He links in the at bat out. He squares the ball up, rides it out of the ballpark. The next at bat, left on left, and he sees the ball. He's in better hitting position every ball he took. Gets a walk. It's a work in progress, but I think it's heading in the right direction. I think we got some real positive work out of our session. What was it? Monday?
Monday.
Yeah, Monday, and we're going to take it back out there today with a couple other guys to see if we can keep it moving forward.
What was the focus of your message with Pedro on Monday? What was the emphasis out there?
Well, it's just sometimes you got to find a way to slow the game down, and when you're behind the fastball and ahead of the soft stuff, it's a very uncomfortable place to be. What's getting you there? Are you seeing the ball good? Are you getting ready to hit while you're seeing the ball? A lot of times, my experience as a hitter working with hitters, sometimes you get out there and you just got too much going on. All the thinking, that isolating the thought process needs to be done on deck. Once you get in a batter's box, you got to compete. And you got to see the ball, number one. You got to get ready to hit every pitch as you anticipate a strike and then shut it down. I think he did a better job of that today. The first 2 at-bats, a little bit more of the same. But it's getting ready to hit while you're seeing the ball and reading the pitch. And he did a much better job his second 2 at-bats.
As a team, you had a lot of good at-bats hitting the ball the opposite way and hitting the ball hard. I would imagine that's part of the game plan and good to see this late in spring.
It is, and it's one thing we're going to focus more. Some pitchers we're going to see, we saw Hap today, who we're going to see during the season. Give him a little more information, focus off gap more often. The one thing we saw we didn't do well today, we had some offensive counts, we got fed some change-ups. A couple big at-bats in the game. Even with, I think, Rhino, the bases loaded, first pitch was soft, we fired early with no count. Those are at-bats that we want to slow down. There's no shot clock. We got the pitcher on the hook, the bases are loaded. 1 pitch, 1 zone, see the ball up and back it up. We did a better job of that throughout the game, though, today.
I know spring training results aren't that significant, but Lyle Overbay's had a real strong spring. Is that something that you expect? Is there an approach change that he's had, or can that carry over into the season?
It can. I mean, the approach change started at the beginning of spring training. We talked about him being more aggressive in the count early. He's had a good eye. Last season, we talked about the reason for some of the numbers, and I think last season was more of an aberration. What I enjoy is trends and what when other people break down hitters and what they see. And all I know is there's a humanness that statistics don't incorporate, and especially when you're not tied to a person, you don't know the value of hard work. You can't understand the determination that's involved. This man's very determined this spring. He's made a conscious effort of getting out of the blocks clean. The beauty of this is once we get done with spring training, everything will roll back to 0. But the confidence should have been built up. I think he's found an approach that's going to work. I believe it's going to work. So it's good to see. It's good to see.
Versus problems today were tied mostly to lack of command, would you say?
Pardon me?
Versus problems today were tied mostly
lack of command and elevating the ball over the middle of the plate, up in the zone. Up in the zone way too often. Definitely.
But he did get 5 innings in which.
As far as stretching out, yeah, that was very good. Him and Carson's, we're trying to stretch out just in case we need a plan B along the line. And it was very good to see him at least get extended for the amount of pitches he threw. The sharpness and quality wasn't there, what we've seen earlier in the spring, so he's got work still in front of him.
What was behind, Clint, the post-game BP the other day, and again you're going to do it today?
Well, it's something I've always done. And it seemed to be something I had some comments made like nobody's ever seen it before. So when you have one field, you can't do it anywhere else. And you can't hit before practice because the fields are wet. And some of the other complexes I've worked at, you have other fields in the back where you can get guys at the start of the game with a hitting coach. But as far as going eyes on, I would have preferred to have done it a few more times earlier. We waited until later because of the workload these guys have been carrying. Has been, I think, to bring them back out now. We've shortened up a little bit of our morning work, so an opportunity to get a blow, come back out, refresh, and swing more. It's just more practice is all it is. Isolated practice.
You had your eyes on Snyder yesterday at Pirate City. What was the feedback, not the feedback, but what you saw in seeing him?
Well, I saw him getting a swing off mechanically. He still was a little rusty, but he got to see a large amount of pitches yesterday. 5 at-bats, but today he got 10 at-bats. So he really got stretched out today as far as seeing pitching, getting at bats. Swung the bat better today, felt better swinging the bat. Just getting into focus, big part of the ballpark, big part of the field. More often than not, when guys have been out a while, they have a tendency to be hook happy a little bit snappy with the barrel rolling over balls. He pulled a few balls yesterday to his pull side of the field. Today he said he was behind the ball, much better backspin balls better. So that's what we're seeing right now.
And he woke up this morning and was fine after the workload, right?
He felt so good. We had him watch the entire game in the dugout with us today to hone in on the National League Central Astros, just to keep his eagle eye in play.
Do you anticipate James McDonald getting on the mound in a game soon?
We do. We've scheduled him to throw, I believe it's the 26th. And it very well could be in a minor league game. But he had another bullpen today, which the bullpen went well. We'll see how he feels tomorrow, and we're optimistic that we can push him out there and get his pitch count back up at least to a competitive place on the 26th.
Pitching anything? Your fastball's pretty good on Monday.
I'm going back out today. Every other day I can crank it right up there. So. We'll see.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.